All right, here you go. CNN, the ORC poll. Now, we had our first mention of this yesterday. Democrats lose 2014 edge following Obamacare uproar. Now, you may have seen this story with a different headline. And the other headline is Republicans' odds in 2014 vastly improved. I'll tell you what's shaping up here. Let's say this holds. I mean, hypothetical. What we're looking at is a 2010 repeat. But let's get into the details here first. However you want to look at this, the CNN headline is Democrats lose 2014 edge following Obamacare uproar. As I say, there's some other headlines that say Republicans winning big in 2014 based on the latest polling data. What a difference a month makes, they say at CNN. Our new poll indicates a dramatic turnaround in the battle for control of Congress in next year's midterm elections. Democrats a month ago held a 50 to 42% advantage among registered voters in a generic ballot, which asked respondents to choose between a Democrat or Republican, but not a name. That's what generic, for those of you in Rio Linda, generic means there's no name. Just party affiliation was the only question. Now, normally Democrats win the generic ballot going away. For the Republicans to be up 50 to 42 in the generic congressional ballot, that's huge when compared to standard operating procedure. The result came after congressional Republicans appeared to overplay their hand. We're talking about the 50-42 advantage the Democrats had just a month ago, if you'll recall. Everybody in the media was running around, half the Republicans running around. Well, Cruz, you blew it. Ted Cruz and Mike Lee and you Tea Party people, you're killing us. You're destroying the Republican Party. You're building people up for something that can't happen. There's no way Obamacare is going to go away. There's no way it's going to be defunded. And you're getting people all jailed up thinking that we can get rid of this and we can't. You're misleading them. You're destroying the Republican Party. And you're simply guaranteeing the Republicans will lose the House and continue to lose the Senate. That was a month ago. All of that, you remember, it was a month ago. And it was written back then that the congressional Republicans had overplayed their hand in the government shutdown about the debt ceiling and Obamacare. However, that Democrat lead has disappeared. The new CNN poll has the Republicans now up. It's a statistical tie. It's 49-47 Republican win. But the turnaround or the switch, the reversal here, the size of it is what is amazing. The Democrats have literally, the bottom has fallen out of them, and the Republicans have gained a whopping 7 points. It's a 10-point swing, and it follows political uproar over Obamacare, which included the botched rollout of the website, controversy over insurance policy cancellations, and all of that. Now, here's the other good news for Republicans in 2014 midterms. That's the Politico story. This is the way they headline the same details in the CNN poll. Let's, just for the fun of it, let's go to the audio sound bites and let's listen to CNN's Wolf Blitzer. This was last night on the Situation Room. Wolf Blitzer speaking with Gloria Borger.
Some disturbing poll numbers, Gloria, for the president today. Our new CNN ORC poll asked an opinion of the president right now. Look at how it's collapsed 12 points since May. Can he manage government? 52% said yes in May. 40% said yes right now. That's a pretty disturbing number.
Oh, it's a disturbing number. I mean, it's not nearly the way they covered George Bush's plummeting number, but they're now concerned over there at CNN, and they're now fretting. And I just want to make the point again. This drop in all of these numbers, likability, trust factor, competence, all of that, job approval, all of that has plummeted, and none of it has happened because it's artificial. Meaning the media hasn't driven these numbers down. There hasn't been robust around-the-clock criticism of Obama in the media. He owns it. The bottom is falling out of all of his polling numbers because of him. Now, in the case of George W. Bush, the media drove him down to 36%. It took him 4 years to do it, too. So Wolf is right to be concerned. Because in this case, you know, the old adage, if the media makes you, they can break you. Well, the media pretty much thinks they made Obama. Obama thinks he made himself. They think they can save him. That's what bothers them. It's not so much that, well, it's not just that the bottom is falling out. It is also the realization that they may not be able to do anything about it because it has happened while they have been doing everything they can to prop him up and prevent this very thing from happening. And yet it has. And we all know why. This can't emphasize this enough, folks. This lie that was told for years, deeply personal, and what it has done, as each day goes by, I am more inclined to agree with the caller we had last week, that now it is acceptable, finally, for average people to start expressing their dissatisfaction with Obama. Now they're not afraid of being called racists or bigots or whatever else. You know, her point was that people have felt this way for a long time about Obama. They've just been afraid to say so. Now, this lie was so personal. And it was so consistent. And it was told with such certitude that there is real betrayal being felt now. And the drive-bys are aware of this, and I think they're very, very worried that they will not be able to rescue Obama because they haven't been able to prevent this. Here's Gloria Borger reacting to Blitzer.
Look, the two most important bonds between a president and the public are trust and competency. And you look at that 40% number, that's a competency number. We also have numbers that show that only 46% of the public thinks that he's honest. And so those are real problems. However, you might have said the same things about Bill Clinton. You might have been able to say the same things about Ronald Reagan in a second term. So somehow those presidents managed to resurrect themselves. So let's not write off this president just yet.
Well, no, you see, they think they can bring him back. They think they can bring him back, just like they brought Clinton back. And just, what is this, Reagan? They throw Reagan in there? You know, it's a reference to Iran-Contra. And Reagan's base never left him. You know, there's so much revisionist history going on. Look, if this is the result of Republicans overplaying their hand, they maybe should try it more often. But I actually don't think this has anything to do with the Republicans. I think that headline is sort of misleading where it says that the headline here, just to read it verbatim, I put it on the bottom. Good news for Republicans in 2014. Well, yeah, it may be, but not because of anything they've done. There have been 2 or 3 Republicans. But let's be honest. There was a large number of Republicans that was doing everything they could while this was all going on to prevent this from happening. I mean, it's like 2010. The Tea Party came to life, and Democrats were shellacked in a landslide midterm election. And it wasn't one Republican issue on the ballot, and there wasn't one Republican on the ballot. It was the midterms. There was no single individual people were voting for. There was not a campaign theme. What happened in 2010 was people arose over Obamacare and over the debt and said no. And the Republicans, even then, didn't attempt to connect with that group of people. Even then, they didn't try to form an alliance with them. Even then, they got scared of them. And so it's happening here again, 4 years later, almost an exact replay, except this one has even deeper roots, because this is not just people rising up in opposition to policy and debt, and this is people rising up personally against Obama, and that's deep. Those roots are deep. I got to take a brief timeout, my friends. You sit tight. Much more straight ahead here on the EIB Network.